In last month's PragerFU, I played a clip of Dennis ignorantly talking about the treatment of gay men and intravenous drug users during the early days of the AIDS epidemic, suggesting that today's unvaccinated are treated much worse. But at the beginning of that clip, Prager says something which simply cannot go unanswered given his own beliefs and the beliefs of those he actively supports on a daily basis. Take a look.
Historians will just ask, how did this happen? How did people get governed by irrational fears?
That is a truly baffling question, isn't it? How did people get governed by irrational fears? Well, let's start off answering that question by taking a look at that book you've been pushing your entire life, Den, the Bible. A book which begins with God telling his newly created people not to eat from the tree of knowledge, which they do anyway at the behest of a talking serpent, all of whom are punished once the deed is done. Does that sound rational to you, Den? Is knowledge something you think we should fear? Obviously, that's a rhetorical question. Or, how about your holy book's prescription for finding out if your wife has been unfaithful? You know, the one where the priest makes a potion of holy water and dirt from the tabernacle floor for the suspected woman, which she drinks, causing her to miscarry and possibly, depending on how you read the text, become infertile, if she's been playing the harlot. Does that sound rational, Den? Let's leave the Bible out of this for a minute. How about the supposedly rational fear of sending your kid to college or education in general? In 2012, Dennis's GQP friend Rick Santorum chided Obama for wanting to give every kid in America the opportunity to get a college education. Rick warned that 62% of kids who enter college with a faith conviction will leave without. Of course, Dennis has been dumping on higher education ever since I've known him. How about the fear of a network of satanic, cannibalistic, pedophile politicians and Hollywood celebrities running a child trafficking ring, some say out of a pizzeria, who conspired against the former guy to steal an election with the help of the ghost of Hugo Chavez and the Chinese? Is there a storm coming, Den? Does any of that sound rational to you? Or, moving back to your holy book, how about the idea embraced by your evangelical friends suggesting there's a place in the next life made of fire and brimstone, which a perfectly loving God will use to violently punish people for all eternity, simply for disbelieving the stories about Jesus and the claim that he was God incarnate? A claim which you also incidentally deny, Den. Is that a rational fear people should embrace? The fear of hell? This is the kind of pathetic sycophant Dennis has become, endlessly kissing the asses of people who, according to some Christian theologians, will be overjoyed seeing Dennis's torment in the next life for his rejection of their gentle Jesus. Perhaps the real fear should be that of selling one's soul. Since you believe in that kind of thing, my old buddy, when historians look back and wonder how this happened, how America became gripped by irrational fears, they will look at people like you, Dennis. People who have built their entire careers scaring people about the left, the secularist, the gays, the feminist, the scientist, higher education, and now a vaccine developed and taken by your Lord and Savior. Once again, I'm me. Thanks for watching. Hey everyone, thanks again for watching. As many of you know, prior to the pandemic, I had 2 side hustles bringing in money: video production jobs and renting out my cinema gear. When those died out, my patrons stepped up, boosting their contributions and supporting more videos per month, for which I am endlessly grateful. My patrons are amazing. Thanks, gang. Unfortunately, I'm still not exactly where I need to be. So a friend of mine suggested I start doing TikTok. I wasn't crazy about that idea, but while looking into it, I discovered all kinds of ways to make money that I have never even dreamed of. For instance, this young woman is making a ton of money selling her flurries. her gusts, her breezes, whirlwinds, tempests, puffs. Whatever you want to call it, this woman is apparently making a lot of money bottling things up, or not, and shipping them out. I said shipping. And all because, according to her, she's got a good personality and she's hot. So I thought to myself, hey, I'm kind of hot for my age and I have a good personality. I certainly don't need to make anywhere near the kind of money she's making. Surely there are a few people out there, maybe you, who would want my farther along this line of thinking, though, I started thinking about the possible lifestyle changes involved. I mean, I'd have to severely change my diet, for one, right? And I know what you're thinking. No, there is no anti-Beano, anti-Gas-X type pill you can take to induce a tiny typhoon. Plus, I have no idea how she's actually bottling these things up. Is it painful? Are there workers involved? Would I have to pay them, or is that some kind of fetish thing you can find on Tinder or Craigslist? I mean, the workers' comp costs would be through the roof, right? I mean, I couldn't afford that. Could I even find people who, if they wanted to do it for free, would be skilled in this trade, who had the kind of manual dexterity and poor sense of smell that I'd need, who would also be discreet? So lots of questions. Having said all that, I decided to keep that option in my back pocket and come here and say to you, hey, you, if you like these videos and you can afford to do anything to keep them squeaking out, head on over to Patreon and sign up to become a patron. You'll not only be making this enlightening, humorous content available to those who can't afford to help out, but now you'll be making the world a safer, fresher, far less fragrant place. You'll be helping the environment. That's patreon.com/Mr. Deity. The link is below in the description. And to everyone else who's already helped out in whatever way, you know what I'm going to say. Thank you. And I'll see you real soon. Whoops. Sorry.